Hey guys, so last time we learned how to make auto layouts to make websites or to make sections or to understand auto layout. Today we're going to talk about how to do more things with auto layout so you can get a grasp of what auto layouts are and how it works. So here we're going to be creating this screen with auto layouts from scratch. We will not make this part, just focus on these areas and this one. So first thing we want to do is we want to make our frame, right? In the last video I taught us how to create the frame without creating a frame, just auto layouts, purely auto layouts. But today we're going to just move to our desktop and we have Lumi here, or it could be on Splash. I could just search for fruits or vegetables, depends on what you want to search for. Also, I have also taught in other videos that you should start with a guide, 1260 or 80, depends on what you want. That's fine. So we already have this one. It's getting the fruits ready. So the next thing we want to do is we want to just fill it in the design and say okay, I just need to pick one. I don't have to pick a perfect one. Could just pick this one. No, not this one. I'm trying to find the fanciest I can find. But we just have to pick anything. Pick one, Peter. Stop moving around. So I've picked the image. It should actually insert here. So selected this frame. You have to select the frame. Okay, I didn't do that first of all. I could decide to just put it inside, and stretch it out. But if I wanted to fill it itself, I'll just do this again. I've reached my daily limit. I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to go to Unsplash and use Unsplash. I want to thank the creators of Unsplash for making it free completely. Lumi used to be free. Now it's no longer free. And I have to use AI to generate images. So vegetables, like people would say. So I will bring this image here and insert this one. Let's pick one, so I'm not wasting anyone's time. Okay, done. We don't need an image anymore. So we could say vegetable farm. That would be our logo. I will just add that in, let's say 48, and bring that here. But there's a problem. These text and the background are not a good match. So you have to treat our background. There are two ways to do that. Either we look at this layer now. I could decide to delete it, nothing happens to the design, fine. I could also decide to do what, make it black. Then you see this, there are three dots here and this thing changes to a and. So I can grab it and put it on top of the image. So it's a layer over the other. And now we can't see what we're working on again. Makes no sense, right? So next thing we could do what? Make this opacity 20% so that this text is more legible. Or we could also say, you know what, I'm just going to use a gradient and I would say left. I didn't do that well. I'll say left to right. Then I could make it 100 and 20, 100. Oh, it went to the wrong side. I have to change it back. So this should be 100 instead and 20. Okay, not bad. We could also do this if you want, but I was just trying to show us different ways of doing this. So I could make the text now and say welcome back, then make it black. I would try to use 32 for my size. The next we have, don't have an account, please sign up. So I'm going to just do everything here. Change the background of this design so we can see what I'm working on. So next thing is I'll duplicate it by dragging Option or Alt and say don't have an account, sign up, and I would say this, I'll make this one 16. Then I will make the sign up text underlined by coming here, going to this one. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make it an auto layout. Select these two together, make it an auto layout. The spacing between each other, both will be 16. 16, beg your pardon. Then I could decide to also select this text and change the color to a lighter shade of black. Duplicate this also and drag it out, pull it out of the rubber band. Change this text to email. Then there's these things, the rubber band is just slack, so you have to make it fit. We do this, boom. Next thing we want to do is we want to duplicate again and say eg then I could use my name, peterrock@gmail.com. Then you'd see that the opacity or the type of black used is a very light shade. I'll use this one. You could just always copy it. Yeah, it's 8E988E A8. The next thing is I want to make this, okay, mistake. This text is corrected already. I'm just going to auto layout it. That is auto layouting this one alone, this text alone with this background. Then I'm going to start to treat it and say, you know what, I want the width of this thing should be like around 200 or 300. Let's do 300. Then bring it to the front here. You can see this is to move the position of this particular text within the frame. Then I would say I want to do it top and bottom to be 12. Then fill it up with the color. Then let's say 16 also. Let's do 16 too. So this should be 350 instead. You know what? Let's just do 400. So now we have the email. Select this together. I could also go to my assets. So what I did is that I have a file pack, a pack within all of these files that has all my logos. I mean all my icons. So let's open it. Let me show you what it looks like. So yeah, this is my icons. I have them here. They are not auto layouts. They're component sets. So they are in this color. These are components. So it means that whenever I go to my assets, I can always find them easily. So that's but this is not the tutorial for that. So I'll go to my assets now and I'll pick the envelope so that I would have it inside here. Envelope. It's taking a while to work. While that is still trying to work, I would duplicate this also again. Okay, so we have this one now. It's here. So I would say envelope. Okay, there's no envelope there, so it should be email. So email brings it out. I just come here and I just drag it out and then boom. Then I could do something to auto layout here. I could say space between auto, which is that it spans, and this takes this. So the next thing is password. So password should be the eye icon, right? The eye or padlock. Let's use the padlock. Let's just use strong. Okay, they actually have something here. Strong. Okay, let's just make something. So there's no padlock, there should be an I. Yeah. I'm not going to put the text here. I'm just going to pull it out here and just feed it into this design. Then what do I do to make sure that the space between these are even? I will just say auto. Auto means automatic, you know, so automatic, it should just go and adjust itself. And I could do this, or I could also do this. I can also say this one comes to the front. So I'm using my arrow keys to move them because it's an auto layout. Next thing I will do is I want to make the login button. So I'm just going to group these two together. I want to show you something now. So I'll write my text, T for text, and I'll say login. Then I'm going to auto layout it also, Shift plus A. Then give it a color, maybe blue. And what happens when we use blue? The text inside is not very, very great. So I'm going to do 14. Then I'm going to group them together. Then something new I'm going to do here now. This login should span the full width of this container. So I'm going to select this here, this login text. It's selected. And I'm going to click on this and say, I want you to fill the container. And then you see this red line, it shows up. Very intuitive. And then you know that, boom, it's going to do that for you. Then do 4. The text in beside it's not very responsive. How do I know? You'd see it here. Look at this circle. It says standard not met. But by the time I change the color, you'd watch this. It changes because it's now approved. If I go to another color, it's still met on this one. If I do like this, it changes. Not met, met, not met, met, no matter what. So this is one way to learn how to make good contrast and obey good accessibility. The next thing I want to do is or. So we could just write our text and say or. Make it light also. Then we have another button. Command D. So or can also be in its own button, sort of, but it has all of these lines. We're not going to do that for now. So I'm going to just bring it in between. Okay, so we have or in between these two. So I'm going to select all 3 of them and change spacing to maybe 16. Then put this in between so we have all like this. So this one says what? Continue with Google. Continue with Google. Then we come and change it to white. Then this also is not meeting the standards again. Then we come and say we want you to be this. Then we have the icon for Google and we go to iconify. Because I don't have Google in my icon pack, so I have to use this one. So I will then say search for Google icon. Yeah. This is taking 30 minutes already. Google icon, or just search Google. Then I'll just drag it out here. It's too big, right? And I said we measure our spacing in 8 pixels. So what's the closest size in 8 plus that will give us something like this? Let's say 32. Don't forget to lock this part. Aspect ratio. Let's do 24. Then we take it and then we pull it inside here. And there's a stroke around this. In fact, around everything there's a stroke. So I want to just come here and just select my stroke. Use this color for my stroke. Select this one. Use this color for my stroke. The stroke also will be this one. So we have these 2 groups already done. We select all together. Now the spacing between this part and this part is too much. We can pull this down and fix to, or we can just come here and do 16. Next thing I want to do is I want to make sure that there's this wrap around it. What do? I just click on the fill and boom, already have it done. But there's still a problem. These guys are going to die. There's no space between all of them, so we just have to do what? Give the padding for white space, and we'll say we start from, let's say, 24. or 32, and then we say 16, and boom, we are done. We already have our design ready, and we can even drag, and that's why I like auto layout. You can't do this with any other thing. So auto layout helps you to do this because we built every single layer and component in auto layout, so we can always drag it as much as we want. And there you have it. I think I've made a prettier one than this design I found online. So yeah, that's how to make auto layouts in Figma, and we could share it so we could see how it looks like. In a few seconds, it's gonna load. Okay, so this is it. This is our login screen. Done with auto layout fully. It's clean. The spacing is great. Thank you very much for watching this. Please like, subscribe, drop a comment. Let me know what you think. What videos do you want me to make next? Let me know. Thank you.